here in Starbucks. Jessie Vargas, world champion. Jessie, LeBron just announced he's going back to the Cavaliers. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it must have been the best decision for his career. You know, maybe they offered him more money. I don't know what the case was, but he shouldn't have left the Cavs in the first place. Now he's back home. You know, where I think where the people, well, they love Marywood, but I think they've been wanting him to come back for some time.
Yeah. Now Miami has like the biggest bandwagon fans in the world. Do you think that bandwagon's gonna be kind of empty now next year?
No, Miami has always had a good fan base. I think that.
Oh, come on, Jesse. You know better than that.
I think that. I mean, I was never a Miami. I mean, to be honest, I like the Heat when Shaquille O'Neal, you know, went to the Heat, because I was always a Lakers fan. I was always a Shaquille O'Neal fan. So I kind of moved out there for a year. But just because Shaquille O'Neal, you know, once he retired, I was done. But you know, they've always had a large fan base. You know, but LeBron, I think, has a huge fan base. I just would have liked for him to stay at the Cavaliers. That way he could have his, you know, have that history behind him. Just he was always at the Cavs. You know, just like Kobe Bryant. He was always a Lakers fan. You know, always a Lakers player, and I think a lot of people respect that.
All right, let's talk about your. I guess we'll talk a little boxing here for a second. What is it? Why do you hate these Russians so much?
I don't hate them, man. It's just they're trying to come into this game and they're trying to take my title. And hey, I have to show them who's the better fighter, you know, and that's what I'm going to do August 2nd.
We were talking a little earlier about Larry Canelo, you know, and the way Mexicans fight, you know, and I think that's kind of a stereotype that's kind of true. Is there a style for Russians? What's a Russian fight like, and what do you expect? So is there something similar as opposed to like for your last fight?
The Russian fighters, they're rugged fighters, you know. They can take a punch. They can take a punch, and they're awkward. Most of them are awkward. They have similarities in their style. A lot of southpaws coming from Russia for some reason. You know, that's I would say that has a lot to do with Russian style, but you know, it's just another one I'm gonna take down. You know, it seems like they come in twos. You know, first two Africans, I believe it's two Africans are gone.
Yeah, Raynar and
two Africans, two Russians. Who knows who the next two might be? But first, I have to concentrate on taking out Anton Abakov. You know, coming out with the victory August 2nd, which that's the way I have planned. That's the way I have envisioned. And that's the way it's going to be. Well, now tune in. August 2nd is going to be a great fight. He's going to come to fight. He's an undefeated fighter, so I'm sure he's going to try and give it all in his ring, but you know, he's not taking my belt.
You guys have similar resumes. You're 24-0. He's 29-0. You've not knocked
I'd say the number. You know, the number that we have in you know, in the 20s victories that are amongst the 20s. I have 24. I'll have 25 August 2nd, but he has 29.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that we have the same resume, because
you fought a lot tougher guys.
Yeah, you see my resume. I'm a tested fighter. You know what I mean? I'm a tested lion. You see who I've been in with. I've been in with at least, I would say, 5 undefeated fighters that I took it out of them and I took out the victory. I've been in there with veterans, with tough fighters that became world champions after I beat them. You know, so you know, look at my resume, look at his, and I'm gonna show what the difference is August 2nd.
Who's the toughest guy you fought? Who's the toughest fight you've had?
The toughest fight I've had, toughest fight I can recall was in the beginning of my career with the journeyman that I got cocky and I didn't prepare well for, and it resulted a little tougher than it should have.
Let's see, it threw me off there. Why is it that you, every fight, Jesse, I ask you this every time we talk, every fight you have is so close. Why? What's up with that? When are you going to have a clear-cut one? Well, actually, I mean, the last one someone said was clear-cut. I talked to Robert Hoyle, who after he said it was your best performance ever, so he would disagree. But you had a lot of fights that have been very close. What's up with that?
Thank you. Well, you know, whenever you're in this level, you know, it's a competitive matchup. You know, last fight I took the title away from another Russian. I mean, he didn't want to lose the belt. He was an undefeated fighter, so I had to take that will out of him. You know, and I don't think it was a close fight, to be honest. And I mean, you looked at me after the fight. I was pretty clean. You saw him after the fight. He was being beat up. You know, and you know, I faced an undefeated African also recently that he didn't want to lose, and I took it out of him as well. You know, and I came out clean. I mean, any fight that you say has been close, I'd say look back at the video, look at my face, look at my opponent's face, and see and judge from there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not only it's not that easy to hit me. That's the thing. You know, even though you might look like he touched me, all you have to do is just a nice slick movement to the right, and guess what? It's just slipping you. You know what I mean? Just pay more attention. You know, turn off the HBO audio. That's one thing for sure. Turn off the HBO audio, and maybe not from now on. Hopefully I got them on my side now. You know, because the thing is that I look at, I say, just like the gladiator movie, you know, where he comes out like, are you not entertained? You know what I mean? Do you not like my fights? They're entertaining, right? Well then why would people say, oh, he's cutting it close, versus, oh, he's a boring fighter? I give you a good fight, entertaining matchup, and now, oh, he's always cutting it close. Well, you're not entertained. Did you not like it? Well then, watch my next fight. Tune in, become a fan. You know, become a Jessie Vargas supporter. You know what I mean? If a one-sided fight is that's what you want, I'll move around, I'll hit him and run, I'll hit him and run, I'll hit him and run. This is to all the fans that could say that. If that's what you want, I can do that. I choose not to because I want to give you action. Since the beginning of my career, I pride myself on being an action-packed fighter. Posecito Lopez, Omotoso. I mean, I don't back down. You know what I mean? Even if I should box, even if I should run around and hit you with 2 punches and run around and hit you with 2 punches, I don't. I sit there, I fight, I take 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, and I'm back at it. You know what I mean? I wish people could see that.
I've never seen you get so animated before. I think I pushed a button there. I might look into being a Jessie Vargas fan next time.
You know what? It's just something that I'm here to give you great fights. You know, and sometimes I've had certain. Thankfully, I have a nice fan base. You know, that's growing. But at the same time, I have other people that also have negative things to say, like, why is he cutting it so close? Well, did you like the fight or not? Yeah, it was an action-packed fight. All right, well, I'm glad you liked it. You know what I mean? That's what we were here for. I'm an athlete to give you entertaining matchups, and I want you to tune into my next fight. And I'm gonna do the same thing in the next fight. I'm not gonna back down. You know, and I think there was only one boring fight that I've had, and I made sure it never happened again. I think it was a Steve Forbes fight.
Yeah, we got a lot of
that was pretty.
And that was late.
I mean,
you were supposed to fight Alfonso Gomez, I believe, that fight,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. They pulled him in a week before the fight. Well, of course, Alfonso Gomez, I wasn't going to chase him. I was going to let him come in and counterpunch him. Then you put in a counterpuncher a week before the fight. Well, it kind of throws your game plan off, you know.
Right.
And me as a young fighter at that time, I was 22 and a half, 23. I didn't know how to change the game plan. You know, but hey, it happens, and it was a good night, but just not a very entertaining fight, you know. But that's the thing, that I just say how it is, you know what I mean?
Very last question. Sorry.
No, we're good. Tune in August 2nd. We're gonna give you a good matchup. And yeah, you know what? I look at it this way, you know, the people do have a reason to say it, because to show that we're on another level, we have to beat them in a one-sided fight. You know, we have to always have the upper hand. I think I always have had the upper hand. I always had control of the fight, but I'm gonna do it with more authority this time. You know, because I know that's what they want to see, and I'm gonna show it to them. You know, that I am on another level. So at the same time, you know, that I do prove my point, but at the same time, they prove their point as well. To where I have to be superb, you know, over any opponent, and show that I'm a better, much better fighter.
Very last question. A couple fights into your Top Rank deal when you switched, people were kind of questioning, was that the right move? Because you kind of see, you know, all of a sudden you're fighting random fighters, some people, and then obviously now it's worked out well. You're world champion. Was there ever a time that you were a little worried? And obviously looking back now, you're world champion. Anything, you know, how do you feel about the move now, obviously?
I was always very happy with it. You know, I felt that I was the company, Top Rank. They know what they're doing. You know, they're the oldest, most experienced promoter in the game, I believe. And the thing that when I signed with them, I knew that they were the most experienced, but they took their time with all their fighters. You know, they were very patient. And when I signed with them, I knew that beforehand. So when I was fighting fighters that weren't really recognized, you know, or not the biggest names, I wouldn't say I kind of expected it, but I knew that it was a possibility that, you know, because I knew how they worked. But I knew they were going to get me there, you know, because this isn't a short-term run, short-term career. It really is. I mean, it's a long term. I mean, for me, it's long term because I'm not gonna plan on retiring until I'm 35, 36. You know what I mean? But I knew they were gonna get me there. I'm here now. You know, I'm being put against another undefeated guy. Doesn't have a name, but I know they have something in visions, something up ahead for me, lined up, and you know, I hope I get that Pacquiao opportunity before he retires, because I'm the young lion coming up, and you know, whenever there's that young lion, we have to make sure and we have to take out the older lion and kind of tell him, hey man, this is my side, get out of here now. You know what I mean?
So at one time it seemed like Marquez was your guy. Now is it moved on? You changed to Pacquiao, the guy you want more?
I'm down to fight any of the top guys. You know, I just want a guy with a name. You know, I feel that I'm giving these other guys the opportunity to fight me, and now I feel that I deserve the opportunity to become a household name, and for that we need a household opponent. I mean, household name opponent. You know, like Manny Pacquiao, Roman Marquez. You know, I'm down for both of them.
All right. Well, first things first. August 10th.
August 2nd. August 2nd. Tune in. Don't miss it.
Yeah, obviously I was gonna miss it. Glad you told me.
It's gonna be a great matchup. Great matchup. It's Brandon Rios. It's the main event for that night. Brandon Rios, Diego Chavez. It's gonna be a war. And then you're gonna have me and Anton Ivankov, two undefeated fighters, and watch me break his will.
All right,
watch me show him who's a better fighter.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
No problem. Thank you.